Greetings, it's Will from StormTheCastle.com, and you are watching the Cardboard Da Vinci YouTube channel, and I got a nice little paper project for you here. It is how to make a paper Eiffel Tower, and actually how to make two of them. The small one here that sits on the actual geographic map of the Eiffel Tower. And see that yellow sheet there has statistics about it, which is kind of nice, little display thing. And, this little packet is 5 pages long, and it gives you all the parts to make both these Eiffel Towers, the small one and the larger one. If you're new to crafting with paper, this is an easy project. Each tower only has 7 parts. But if you're new to something like this, you might want to do the big one first, because it's big, the pieces are bigger, they're easy to work with. But fun little project. The link to get the PDF, you just download it. Don't give me an email or nothing. Just download the PDF, print it up, and you make it. So let's launch into it. First, let's get into Da Vinci's world. Okay, welcome in. So let's take a look here. There's the packet. You can print it and make it on regular printer paper, but if you have a thicker paper or cardstock, I recommend that. It'll make for a stronger Eiffel Tower. Won't fall down in the wind. But what do you need to make this project? Something to cut paper with, scissors or an X-Acto knife, some glue or glue stick, a straight edge, which is important, and optionally a bone folder. And you'll see how I use that if you're not familiar with a bone folder. So you don't need much to do this project. Now let's get started. We're going to do the small one because I like the way it sits on the geo map. And here, let's take a look here. Those are the parts for the large one, but the small one is all on one page. 7 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the whole thing. And we cut them out and put it together in order. You start with part 1, then we move to part 2. So it's a really, really easy project. A great project for kids. So let's start with part 1. You cut it out. And then you use your ruler to fold over all those little white tabs. Like there's one long tab there. And there's a series of smaller triangular tabs. And tabs are just a way to glue pieces of paper together. And then fold on the 3 dark lines, which creates a square shape. You'll see. See how it's square? And then finish this part 1 by gluing that tab like this. Oh, and I love that glue. That's a Barely Art glue. I'll put a link for that too on Amazon. I get it on Amazon. But it's a good glue, but I also like how it has that micro dispenser. So the products I use here, if you're interested or you want to use the similar products, I'll put those links in the description so you can check them out on Amazon, like the bone folder too. So once that piece is glued together, now just glue it down to your map. The actual Eiffel Tower took about 2 years to build. We're going to do it in 1 or 2 hours. Now, let's move on to part 2. Cut it out, and this one's got a little bit of a fold here. I'll show you how to do it. Because those colored sections are railings. Think of them as a railing or a banister. I'll show you. First, I'll do 1, and then you do the same thing to all 4. And see how the bone folder comes in handy here? Isn't that beautiful? Now you can buy bone folders that are actual bone, but they make resin ones that are quite nice too. So you're folding it on that middle line. See the white part? And then you're going to fold it like this. And then you're going to fold it over So what happens is you see railing from the inside and from the outside of the square. If that's hard to visualize, you'll see what I mean. I'm just creasing it really well. But now all we got to do is glue those two parts together, that flap we created. But see that beautiful little micro tip? It makes a big difference when gluing. It's easier. But you can do this whole project with any glue you want, or with glue stick. Glue stick actually works pretty nice too. You know, I'm looking at my list here of projects that are coming up. I got a whole bunch of really interesting projects coming up. And of course, more cardboard projects. So there we go. We've folded up our railing or banister. And do the same thing for the other three, so it's all the way around. And then, see, there you go. That piece is complete. And then glue it down to the base of your Eiffel Tower. And the first third, I guess you could say, is done. You know, I've been to the Eiffel Tower. It's kind of nice. It's so unique. So now part 3, cut it out. You can see there's a white tab on the left there. So, and then fold on all the lines. So this is going to form a square too. And then glue that tab. Just like that. That's beautiful. And then glue it onto your tower. See, we're pretty close to being half done. That's three of 7 pieces. Now part 4 is an easy part. It's just that little gray square. Cut it out and glue it onto your tower. Now part 5. It's going to add a lot of height to our to the tower. Cut it out. Just like we've pretty much done with all the other parts. Fold that tab. And then fold the other 3 sections on the white, thick white parts so it forms another square. And glue it closed. I was trying to think of the name for this shape. And I couldn't think of the name of it. It's not it's conical, kind of. But see how it's tapered? It's larger at the bottom than at the top. If you know the name for that shape, it's not a rhomboid, is it? Is that a rhomboid? And then glue it to the tower. And that's it. 2 more pieces to go. And these pieces are small, so that's why I recommended starting with the larger one if you don't have much paper crafting experience. The large one will be a little bit easier to handle. But this is a little building at this part 6 is a little building at the top of the tower. And we form it into a cube. Kind of like, it's a dice, the shape of a die. A die. Cut it out, fold down all those flaps. and then fold it into a square shape like this. Can you see that? Now all that remains is to fold down and glue the top and the bottom, those two flaps, like this. A little bit tricky, takes a little bit of, what would you call it, fine motor manipulation. So a young child might have trouble with this part. Give them some help. And then that's it. Once you get that cube formed, glue it onto the top of your tower. And if I remember correctly, there's also a restaurant in there. So that's it. The final piece, piece 7. This is like the antenna. Now we just want to like curl it up as tight as we possibly can do it. And I used a barbecue skewer just to kind of get it started. But you want to see how it's formed a curve, which helps to curve it more and to really roll it up nice and tight as you can get it. The thinner, the better. And then you glue it. And you put a dab of glue on the top of your tower. See, let me glue that tight. That's it. Like I said, I got a lot of projects coming up. And in a variety of different things, a la Da Vinci, who covered a whole different series of subjects and disciplines. I've got a whole bunch of different ones coming, including a cardboard jewelry box. I think people are going to like that because I have some ideas on how to make it kind of unique, but cheap or almost free. So that's it. Glue that onto the top of your tower, and your tower, Eiffel Tower, is done. There's the small one on the map. And let's take a look at the large one. Thanks. Now, if you like paper projects like this, I have one that I really love. It took me a long time to design it out, but it's a paper Notre Dame. Well, some people say Notre Dame. Let's take a look at that one. There you go. And I'll give you a link to that. It's right here on my YouTube channel. Cardboard Da Vinci. Isn't that nice? And along with its fact sheet. Thank you. Perché la minestra si fredda.